Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have made it to November. We got a little bit of snow falling right now, but it's 41 degrees and it's supposed to get up to 52 according to the forecast up there in the top, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about it snowing on us for too long. And we got some baling to do. So in the first episode I told you that I got this special edition baler, but you'll see that I have changed the colors on it. Let me go close this other door quick. I've been messing around with it. Maybe I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to go into my shop menu and quick and show you what I'm working on. So this is the Round Balers Plus mod. And I've told a lot of you, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that I like to play as realistic as possible. Well, one of the things that takes forever is baling. And when you have 80 acres worth of corn stalks and soybean stubble to bale up, that takes a while. So I'm using the Round Balers Plus. And the reason I'm doing that is you can see right here on the configuration, I can keep this at a standard size, or I can go over here and put this on Unreal, and the bales will be 9 times their normal size. So the bale will look the normal size when it comes out in the game, but instead of being a 6,000 liter bale, it'll be a nearly 60,000 liter bale. So that's what I'm gonna do just to speed up this process. Now off camera I've been experimenting. I cannot for the life of me get this to pick up the soybean straw. So we might look at another option to pick up the soybean straw depending on how much money we make off of these corn stalks. But leave me a note down below. I went in, so this is the unlimited color configurations mod. And you'll see here I was able to find an RGB code for New Holland Red. So I switched this to a New Holland Red from the New Holland Blue. But if you remember in the beginning, I had it at the New Holland Blue with the yellow stripe. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of this look? Do you like the red? Do you like the yellow? I think actually, without looking, I almost want to say that now the New Holland, I almost want to say, are they yellow and black now? Am I mistaken on that? I'd have to look it up. I'm not 100% sure. But I almost think New Holland balers are just yellow and black now. And then do you have the blue stripe on the side or the red stripe on the side? I'm not sure. That kind of looks correct as well. But I'm going to stick with what I had there. And I'm going to do yellow underneath, yellow stripe, with the New Holland Red look. I like that look. And then we're gonna do, let's go New Holland up. Nah, we'll keep the yellow on the rims. That red does not look right on the rims. So that's what we're gonna go with. We'll keep it as it is. But yeah, so this is the Round Balers Plus mod. And like I said, it will allow me to make my bales larger than the normal size. So we'll jump in the tractor here quick and show you how this is going to work. So I have some round bale net over here on the ground because I've been experimenting. I do know that it'll pick up corn stalks because I have done that. If I go over here to my soybean straw, it won't work. So if there's anybody watching this that actually knows how some of this stuff works, let me know. I've added the field types from this map to the field types on the main map files. I've made sure that the field type category on the balers match both the base game files and the map files. But if you watch the round bale now here, I will pull onto the swath and the bale net disappears. It's picking up, but it's not showing that there's anything in the baler. So I don't know what is going on there, but it will not recognize the soybean straw. It does work though on the corn stalks. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you. And then that's where this other bale trailer comes in, because even though they're the same size as other bales in the game, sorry, I'm changing the bale size and not crash into my trailer while I'm doing it. Even though the bales look the same size as the base game bales, the base game trailers will not recognize them because they're coming from the Round Balers Plus mod. So that bale trailer I got there is made by the same people that made this mod, and it is specially made so that it will pick up these bales. So I have a way to transport them. Now, the only other option that I have possibly to pick up the soybean straw would be to use a loading wagon. And if I take a look quick, we have $257,000 worth of soybeans right now. So I downloaded 2 other unrealistic mods to speed the process up. I could go in and use the Lizard TARDIS and get its loading wagon and put it on an extra large capacity that holds 260,000 liters. Or I can go down to the Lizard Colossus and I can go over and find its loading wagon. That's in here somewhere. Right here. And I can make it change it to where it holds 5 million liters or 1 million liters just to speed up the process. So we'll see how many bales we get, and then but that's $106,000. So let's see how many bales we get first off the corn stalk, and then we'll decide if we want to mess with the soybean straw at all. So we're going to get going here, and you'll be able to see just exactly how this works. And we'll start off this episode here by baling up some corn stalks. Yes, I'm doing it in the snow. Yes, that's probably not realistic because the stalks would be wet, and obviously they'd clog up the baler, but it is what it is. So we'll sit here, and you'll watch down here at the bottom now. It'll start picking up. Well, now it doesn't want to work. I swear I had it working. There. Now it's picking up corn stalks after it went through the first thing of bale net. So I don't know what's going on. I might just sell this baler and get the loading wagon. But you can see down there I'm at 10,000 liters and I'm only 15,000 liters full. But I'm going to go through one full round bale net, I think, before I even have one bale. So I don't think I'm going to use this. I think we're going to go ahead and sell. We're going to go ahead and sell the baler and the bale trailer and see if that gives us enough money to pick up that loading wagon. As you can see there, it went through the entire first round bale net. Didn't start picking up corn stalks until I was on the second round bale net. That second round bale net has already used probably 25 to 30%, and I'm only 25% full. So if I'm only going to get one bale through for each set of round bale net, I'm not dealing with that max. So I think we're just gonna cut our losses here on this first swath. On that, maybe it's not going down as quickly as I thought. Now let's just play this out and see where it goes. Well, so I'm gonna play this out. I'm gonna see how long this goes. It was 30%, so I'm gonna have to do at least 3 passes through the field. But now, so I will get 1 bale for every 3 passes through the field instead of having like 2 or 3 bales, maybe 4 or 5 on each pass. So it'll be a lot quicker to pick them up as well. But if I'm going to have to refill my round bale net every 4 to 5 bales, I don't know if that's going to be worth it. Now you saw when I did it on the soybean straw, it did not pick up. It did not start picking up the soybean straw on the second half of the round bale net. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody that's used this mod before can tell me in the comments what, if they found a way around that. Yeah, we're not using much round bale net at all now, so maybe we can make this work. We'll see. Second, when I turn around, I'm going to actually stop and set my GPS so that the tractor will drive straight on its own. We're going to go into that menu and just see if we do have enough money if we wanted to switch to the loading wagon instead. The loading wagon only requires 150 horsepower, so we can still pull it with the 4960 if we need to. And that would be our best bet here. Two times through the field, and we are at 60%, but now the round bale net's not going down well, so we might be alright here. So now let me get lined up on this. Put that down because I'm not straight. Set this. Now let me look. Of course, it's gonna save. I haven't even been playing for 10 minutes, and I think I have it set on 15, but it is what it is. So if we go find, so we can sell the baler for $71,000. And where's it at? Where are you at? Where's my bale trailer? Did I scroll past it and I just missed it? I can sell the bale trailer for 42. So I could sell the two of them for about the same price as it would cost me to get about the same as it would cost me to get a loading wagon. We'll see how well this goes for now. You can see, where are we at down there? We're now at 53,000 liters. We're at 80% full at just under 54,000 liters. So that shows you how much material is going into these bales. This will be our sign here, though. After we drop this bale, we'll see if the baler will continue to pick up the corn stalks, or if it's going to reset its stuff and use all the round bale netting. Because now that the round bale net has not gone down at all. I thought it was going down, but it doesn't look like it's moved at all now on this second bale. So there we go. That's 3 full swaths, and we're still only 88% full at 60,000 liters on this bale. Selling and spending any money. I have $68,000 at the bank, and I'd be selling $110,000 worth of equipment and buying a trailer worth $110,000. I think we'd actually end up making just a slight bit of money here, maybe a couple thousand on it. So here we go. So now we're at 96, 97, 98. 67,500 on that bale. And it's going to start picking up. So we'll see how many bales that we come up with, and we will be back when it's time to pick up. Alright, 10 bales later, we are done. So I'm going to go ahead and park this in the shed right here, because if I go and look at my price menu, and I should have saved before I started recording again, and I didn't, because I never do. If we hold these until January, we are going to have $60,000 worth of corn stalks. So we are going to hold those for January, and then we will sell them. And when we sell them, we are going to go ahead and pick up. After we sell them, we will go ahead and pick up a loading wagon to go pick up the soybean straw, because we should get about the same amount of soybean straw, so it'll pay for itself. If we get $60,000 off the corn stalks and $60,000 off the soybean straw, that's $120,000. It will pay for the loading wagon itself, and then we're going to keep the baler, because in the future I want to look at expanding the land and doing possibly some cattle. So if you look here, we have our eyes here on farmland 51. That's 20 acres that I'm thinking about just turning into pasture land. I might actually just do a small pasture on this middle section, and then maybe do a field over there, but then that's $67,000. But then we have field 49 up here that's about the same size. If we built field 48 at 4 acres and field 49 at 24 acres, we'd have the same amount of land up there. So we turn field 51 into a pasture for cattle, and then maybe put down a couple of pens, because I'm going to try to use the realistic livestock. So I have to, if I use the realistic livestock mod, I have to keep my bulls and my heifers separate until or they will continue to reproduce. So probably put a small pasture here to hold the bulls, and then a big pasture here for the heifers, and then we will be able to get hay up there. That's my plan. So I'm going to keep the baler, because eventually we will need it to make hay. And if I use the open pastures mod like I'm thinking I will, I can edit my baler down to a little bit smaller bales, to maybe 30,000 size. The ones that we got there are 67,000. They were 67,000 liters a piece. So I can jump that down to like half that and make 30,000 liter bales, and then I can give each pasture like one bale every 3 or 4 months, and they will survive. So you saw that though. That was 10 bales, and those were on 9 times the normal size. So I got 10 bales instead of 90 bales, made it a lot easier to pick up. But now we're going to go ahead and take care of the fields. But I'm thinking that I might actually bump up from 12 row to 16 row, because my strip tiller, I believe, is 16 row. I'm trying to do the math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, nope, that's only 12 row, so maybe not. I was thinking about bumping up to 16 row. Maybe not. I think we're gonna go ahead and keep the keep where we're at. Trying to decide how I want to do this, because I have a bigger ripper I can get to rip up the corn ground. But I think we're going to go ahead and stay where we're at, because I'm trying to simplify the process. Because if I roll the stalks and then put lime down and then rip it and then cultivate it, that's a lot of work. So I think what I'm going to do is actually go in here, and we're actually going to sell that Orthman ripper. We're going to simplify this process. Now what we're going to buy is actually a 16 row, but I should be able to get it. If I sell the cultivator and I sell the roller on the back, that bumps us up to $125,000. I should have enough money to do this now. I have this other mod. It's actually listed as a 16 row hipper, but it works as a plow and has a roller on the back at 30-inch rows. So I'm going to use that as my ripper, and then it will roll the field as well, so it'll make a seed bed for me. But it's also listed as a plow, so now I can create fields with it. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to jump in the 8410. And yes, I'm using store deliveries because this map doesn't actually have a dealership down on it. It's got a spawn point, but there's no actual dealership building with it. So I'm using the store deliveries mod. I'm going to use this and go out and straighten out the edges of this field real quick using my enhanced vehicle mod. Now I can't remember if I showed you guys this in the first clip or not. I don't think I did, but if I go into my menu for enhanced vehicle, I can snap my angles down to 1 degree. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it at that, but you can change. You don't necessarily need multi-angle terrain. I know that's the proper way to say it. Everybody in the farm sim community calls it multi-terrain angle, but it should be multi-angle terrain. It's a little pet peeve of mine. So you don't need that. This map works with Thunder's row crop ready mod. So I'm using that. So I'm going between the two. Then I can I can use the enhanced vehicle mod and the row crop ready mod. Then I can snap my field edges and keep them pretty exact. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to go around the edges of this cornfield and knock down the edges. I'm going to plow up some of this grassland in the middle, straighten off the edges, and then there's the spots on either side of the farmyard. I'm going to connect that all together and make this one big field, and then we're going to come back and finish this episode by getting rid of the stalks. So I'm going to just do the edges with this plow, and then I'll come back and chop the stalks, and then we will fast forward to the spring. I didn't realize I left that much corn behind, but you can see why I want to straighten off the edge of this field here, because the edge of this field actually comes all the way to here and it wasn't straight. But then I'll come back in the spring and I will put lime down over the chopped corn stalks, and then I will use this plow to put that lime into the ground. So looking down there, so you can see I'm set at 190 degrees or 179 degrees and some change. So I can set my GPS right now and I will be at a straight 180 degree angle. But if I want to, I can turn, and now I'm at 192, and I can reset. Now I can go 192. I can pull back forward, and I can go at 184 if I want to. It's just a click of a couple buttons on the keyboard to set that up. So, but I want to go straight up and down here. I want to go straight. 0 and 180 would be north and south. So I'm going to reset my track here. I'm going to look over here, and I'm right on the edge of the field there where I want to be. I'm going to open up my menu quick and make sure I have create fields on. And then I'm going to snap in my track here. And we're going to back up to about right there. And we are going to lower this down. And now we're going to straighten off the edge of this field, and you'll see I'm leaving a rolled texture behind me. And I think if I go in here now, if I'm not mistaken, if I go into, yeah, see, and it's going to leave a seed bed behind me. So it's leaving a perfect seed bed for the next year. So I'm going to finish straightening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these these two spots here together and also clear off this around the edge of the field and straighten off this field, and then we will be back to finish off this episode with getting the stock chopper out, and then I'll show a little bit of that, and then I might hire a worker to stock the chops on this field, and then I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other field, but I'm gonna use that enhanced vehicle mod to kind of straighten off these edges over here and down here for when I do my headlands. So I'm gonna get this knocked out, and we will be back to chop some stalks to finish off this episode. We are still in November 1st, but we are making the last pass here, getting all of the grassland plowed under to even out this field. It doesn't show in the mini map down there, but notice that I've been playing on this map for a while. I've done some experimenting on a couple different farms before I actually started recording this. I think when I save the game and turn off and come back, that'll show properly down there on the mini map. So we're gonna go over here and wash off the plow real quick, because we are going to be done with that until the spring, because we cannot buy the loading wagon until we either sell off some soybeans or we sell off the corn stalks in January, and then we'll buy the loading wagon to get the soybean straw picked up. So we won't plow up the grasslands and stuff on that other field until we have all of that picked up. So let's go see. Oh, that is not the vehicle I wanted to get into. I like that you can move your pressure washers around in FS25, but at the same time it's kind of annoying when stuff like that happens. So I don't think, if this is going to fit inside of here, I think I will move the baler. But if it's not going to fit, which it doesn't look like it's going to fit, nope. Then this will go over here in the cold storage shed where the other ripper was. But I think we're going to price out either an S600 or an S700 combine and a 16-row planter, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have a 16. Oh, that is not good. Let's turn off the field creator before we set that down here in the shed. I guess there's a little bit of a collision there. That's all right. I believe I need to look. I do have a side dresser that I can use, and I think it's a 16-row, and if it is, then we might look to upgrade the strip tiller to the side dresser, and then look at maybe getting an S600 or an S700 combine and bumping up to a 16-row header and a 16-row planter, just to speed things up. But we'll see. We'll see about that in future episodes. I know it's going to cost a little bit of money. We're going to get $250,000 off of our soybean crop this year, but that's not going to pay for everything. So we go jump in the 7810 now. We're going to hook up to the stock chopper, and I am going to sign off for this episode. At the time of recording this, I'm up to almost 300 views on my last video, which is probably the most views that I've had in almost 2 years. So we'll keep recording a few more videos for now and kind of see where this series takes us. And if it starts to dwindle off, then I might just go do my own thing. We'll see what happens. But as always, thank you for watching. We will be back next episode, probably in the spring. after we sell off the corn stalks, to put down some lime and get the fields ready for next year's crop. Feel free to give me a like and a subscribe down below. Feel free to leave feedback. I don't care, positive, negative, doesn't really bother me. Leave some feedback, let me know what you think about my series and what I'm doing. Hopefully I've fixed my sound quality. I didn't realize that until I was putting that last video together, that the sound on the combine was louder than all of the other vehicles. So hopefully you can hear me better this episode, but I won't know until I put this video together. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I'm going to get these corn stalks chopped under, and we will catch you next time here on Moose Farms.